Good evening, everybody. I'm bumping this through black and white eyes. Just noticed I've got that creepy clown in the background there and I haven't moved him. Obviously, he had to talk about the Man United game tomorrow. Been a bit unlucky because I did have a Man United fan coming on, but he's said he can't now, so it is what it is. But so you've got me. Obviously, I'll keep the show on as long as I can, probably about half an hour or something like that, but it is what it is. But obviously, let us know in the comments what you think the score will be, who do you think will play, this, that, and the other, because I've been trying to rack my brain about it, what I think will play today. And why can I choose? But anyway, plus I'm on my new system as well, so bear with us because I could be up and down at times. And I'm still getting used to it, but I'll get there eventually. Obviously, I'm still trying to get the position of the camera right and everything like that, but I'll get there. Obviously, don't forget to follow our brilliant sponsors, Tire Crow Shop. They do some fantastic merchandise. Keep updating all the time, and if you do use the code BARS20, you get 20% off, and obviously don't forget to become a member. It's just 99 pence if you like what you're watching, and we will try and bring more to you as much as we can. I mean, obviously I've been waiting for this system, and now I can start doing a bit more because of this system, because I was on this. Well, there's what it is. We'll go in the comments and then I'll give my opinion, what I think will happen, this, that, and the other, and we'll go from there. Right, evening all, please like and subscribe. On evening, everyone. Super chats are available bottom right, so you can join for just 99p. Hello, Larry. Hello, everybody. And there's just a lot of comments underneath saying hi, Gary, this, that, and the other. Evening to you too, pal. Spot on the system, by the way. Obviously, I've seen a bit more different news as I've come on as well. Obviously, I've got like stuff to tell you, but there's a couple of other things that I've just seen, so we'll go from there as well. Out in Derby, Bars, can you wish Dave a happy birthday, please? Bars can it, but I will. Happy birthday, Dave. Bars is at work again, which you'll be gutted about, but it is what it is. Right. You confident, Gary, in a win 3-1, but it's a hard one. I would be very confident with what happened. Injuries. Didn't have as many injuries. Yeah, I don't rate Man United at all. I think they're a sinking ship, and Old Trafford's not as frightening as it used to be, that's for certain. Jules had a great time, but I'll give my prediction at the end of the game. Now I want to watch Borough game, but can't find a screen, just watching Sky Sports. Yeah, I know, I've just flicked. I mean, I've got BT and I've got Sky through Now TV and all that, and there's not one Carabao Cup game on. I mean, seriously. It's like, well, there's 2 on tomorrow. Bloody crackers. Gary, stop fat old thumbs up, people. Hi, everybody. Let's see what this one is. You, Gary, on your mental left this time, even though you're only 4 hours ahead. Aye, exactly. Well, it's one of those nights, to be honest, because the wife's just got in from work. I went trick-or-treating with the kids. The kids were upstairs shouting at Minecraft. So, to be honest, I'd love to know how Baz does it, because he's got younger kids than me, and he's a lot more organised. I'm shocking at times, but if you've got kids, you know, they're not naughty. It's just their kids, and they're off school. So, right, get the Borough game on. Couldn't agree more. And there we go. Right, let's get on with the show. Obviously, the big game tomorrow. Couldn't write it. We'll beat Man City and then we'll draw Man United away. We'll probably get Liverpool next. But it is what it is. Obviously, Eddie's been talking about it in his press conference. I've listened to all of Eddie's press conference. I put it in one here while I was trick-or-treating. He's basically on here, we'll have to utilise our squad. We have Arsenal and Dortmund coming after. It would be silly not to utilise the squad, but we are going there with a game plan to compete. And he goes on to say here, it's a busy period for us. We look forward to Manchester United next. They're a top team with top players. We will have to utilise our squad. And there he goes. He goes on about the same thing, basically. It's most of the questions that he got were about injuries, which I'm going to go on about in a minute. I mean, I've been following the club for 30 odd years and I've never known so many injuries. They could be just pure unlucky, or it could be due to the fact that something might not be right at the club when it comes to the medical side, which I find a bit strange because they didn't suffer last season. But pop in the comments what you think. Do you think it's unlucky, or do you think there's something not right? And I find it, like I said, I find bizarre because they put that new system in, and some of the entries we've got at Freeport. I mean, Murphy's, that happens once in a blue moon, and Harvey Barnes doesn't happen very often. But we seem to be hitting a bit of bad luck with injuries at the minute. Obviously, he's been mentioning a few players, and I'm going to see me team fireworks on in the background. I'm going to see who I think will start later on in the show, but I can guarantee it's probably one of those. I mean, I could be wrong, and I think I might be wrong who I think will start, but what else? I mean, what else is Eddie going to do? I mean, seriously. I mean, we've got that many injuries. It's got to the stage now where we've got nobody to come in because of the window we had. I mean, look, I know I'm talking a different subject here. I mean, tell us what you think of the window that we've just had this summer. I think all four of them are good players. But literally, you could write a movie about our transfer window. It's been a bit of a disaster. We've got two players who I think are going to be top players, who are struggling to get in the side. We've got one player who's just broke his foot, and we've got another one, obviously, who's banned because of his addiction issue. So, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's been a bit of a disaster. But look, because a few people have asked us what I think about the window and everything like that and where we'll go in the future. I'm at the stage now, just keep upgrading the youth team, but I'm coming to the stage now where maybe it's time the next 2 windows focus on the first team. Forget about upcoming talent. Don't waste 30 odd million on upcoming talent. If we miss out, we'll miss out. It's time to go first team and concentrate on that, because it's been proved that we are seriously struggling with injuries, basically. We haven't got enough cover in certain positions. It's on I follow. Just fatigue. I think Eddie should have rotated a bit more. Well, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, Lewis Hall, Liveramento. I mean, Lewis Hall, bless him, gets thrown into his first game against the champions, and it's not easy for him. So what else is he meant to do? But I think I would expect Eddie Hall in at some point. Radcliffe must be sitting going and entertained by us. He wants to drop $1 billion or 2 to get 25. We are way ahead of him. To be honest, look, we hit a bit of a gold mine, didn't we, when we got bought out by PIF and Staveley and the Rubens. But I mean, but they said that basically Newcastle were bought because they're a one-team city. That's what the owners wanted. They were a club that you could grow from a £300 million club to a £4.5 billion club, and they said that's why Chelsea bought a Man United. So we're too expensive. We could have fought them, but even what chairman said, what do you do? Turn Chelsea into a £4.5 billion club? And from a 3.5 to a 4.5, he says it's just a waste of time. So, but Man United's an absolute mess at the minute. I mean, I might as well say this one here. I think this is just people having to go at Manchester United personally, but Marcus Rashford goes out clubbing. to celebrate birthday just hours after Man United suffered derby thrashing at the hands of Man City. He was at a party, apparently, a kid's one. So he went out clubbing, apparently. I mean, seriously, you know, it's just. I mean, I'm not a Man United fan. Let them get on with it. But Rashford gets some unfair stick for me. He really does. And he's not on form. Maybe he's not on form because I heard a long time ago that all wasn't well at Manchester United. Now, just get rid of the comment. Obviously, Erik ten Hag snubs Man United press conference ahead of Carabao clash with Newcastle. I mean, look, I've got my opinion on that one. Sorry. My opinion is that I think he's one of the most overrated managers I've ever seen in my life. He disrupts the dressing room. I don't care what anybody says. His tactics are shocking. And if you watch the game at the weekend, he played Bruno Fernandes, Christian Eriksen, Scott McTominay, Rasmus Højlund, and Marcus Rashford against the best team in the world, who are going to just open you up. There's just not, and I know Amrabat played this, that, and the other, but I just think technically he's not on it. And that, to me, not turning up to do a press conference is a joke from the manager. He's clearly upset. He's clearly angry because Brez have been having a go at him and stuff like that. But hey, you know what it is? Deal with it. Get on with it. You manager of Manchester United, for God's sake, what more do you want? I mean, let me know what you think, Erik ten Hag. I think he's completely and 100% overrated. And nobody's going to change my mind with that. Right, where are we here? What's the weather supposed to be like tomorrow? Probably Paynton, because that's what happened the last 3 times. I think it's like drizzle, but it's Manchester, and it? So could be shocking. Fares up to the 7,000 travelling Geordies tomorrow as well. I know a couple of people going down in the family. Just need update next to 1-0 up against Middlesbrough. Y'all lost the dressing room. There's 1-0 26. Well, basically, I heard 3 months ago he'd lost the dressing room. The players don't like him. Look, Anthony's the biggest tosspot going in football, in my opinion. And the way he came on the pitch the other day, he should have been sent off. But he clearly was annoyed. And I think the dressing room's terrible. I heard a lot of the players, including Marcus Rashford, are very unhappy with the way he's treated Jadon Sancho, and I think it was disgusting. Coming out and slating a player. Eddie Howe doesn't do that. Absolutely no chance. He deals with a situation like that behind closed doors. And Ten Hag comes out, slates Sancho, and all of a sudden you've got and Sancho's coming out saying, it's not my fault. And honestly, you get managers like that, and it's not going to work, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in the next few weeks. But there you go. Let them keep going on with it. Mourinho was crap. Moyes was crap. Who was the other one? Van Gaal, no good. Everybody's been crap. Solskjaer, terrible. It's going to continue. They need new owners. I'm not going to lie, they do. They want to spend money, but they give the money to managers who just go out and buy people like Anthony for 80-odd million. So until they get new owners with a bit of balls, I know Radcliffe's coming in, but to me, he's just the Glazers in disguise. That's all he is. So till they get an owner in who wants to transform Manchester United, then they're just I think they're gonna drop. Honestly, I do. But it is what it is. Shit happens. Great wasn't allowed. Lance, different on mine, probably UK. I fell, hit the borough badge on mine. Yeah, bit of it. Apparently, there's 1,400 Middlesbrough fans travel down to Exeter. Well done to them, because that is one hell of a trip. Ten Hag is way overrated. Surprised he didn't get Bolton for not showing up. Thought that was in their contract. Well, yeah. I mean, who does he think he is? I mean, our players have said that Eddie Howe is a very quiet man. and he is the only man that has got Eddie Howe pissed off, basically. And I just think he's an arrogant prick, honestly. Just the way it is. There's some people I just couldn't stand in charge of our football club. He's one of them, and Jurgen Klopp's the other. And I just kind of get away with them. They're just arrogant sots. Anyway, on the game. That's me ranting about Manchester United. Obviously, Eddie was discussing injuries, and that seems to be the main topic of conversation with Newcastle at the minute. And here's the list. I mean, just get rid of one of those comments. See the bottom. Look, it is what it is, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 injuries. I'd love to know how Manure was injured because he's never played a bloody game all season. So I'd love to know how he's out. Obviously, Tonali, we know that one. Elliot Anderson's apparently broke something in his back or something like that, which is nasty. They're missing Lewis Miley on there as well because he's got glandular fever. Jacob Murphy's obviously got a dislocated shoulder. Isak will be back end of November. Sven Botman's the worry for me because we thought he was coming back and apparently he's had a setback. I mean, look, I could be wrong here, right? He picked that injury up against Liverpool. Now, he clearly was struggling with it. We brought him back and he clearly aggravated it. But how was it took? Surely we've got like x-rays or something like that can pick a problem up. I mean, if I find out that Botman's going for an operation next week, I'll come. Why didn't we do that something 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago? And it's like, it's one of those for me. And Harvey Barnes has obviously had a freak injury, but according to Baz, he has heard that Barnes should be back in December, which is a bonus because it was meant to be January. I haven't heard anything. That is just what Baz has said. But I mean, look, what more? I mean, I've never known an injury. We've always been shocking at injuries, but at the minute, this is probably the worst I've seen. And look, I mean, Tonali's obviously something we can't help. Jacob Murphy was a freak accident. Isaac's a problem for me because, I mean, he's been injured twice now since the start of the season. And when you've got to rely on Callum Wilson, who obviously is a great player, but he struggles with injuries, just like me and Bas have been saying for a long time now. We need a third striker. Harvey Barnes was an injury apparently that happens 1 in a million. So there you go. It's one of those. But what it has done, it has highlighted how much we need to sort the squad out because we've been unlucky. I'm not going to lie, we've been unlucky. But we needed a centre back in the summer. We knew that. We didn't get one. Main Baz said we needed a striker in the summer. We didn't get one. And we got a striker purely based on the fact that we didn't think Wilson and Isak could stay fit. We've been proved right. So the 2 positions for me that needed doing were them 2. The wings, I wasn't too bothered. Harvey Barnes was obviously, it's one of those. You could argue that we might need a right winger, but Gordon can play there, Murphy can play there, and Mickey can play there. So the one thing I will say is though, I mean, look, we know the squad needs changing at times. Everybody will agree with that. There's certain players that we know we've got a good squad. We had a fully fit squad. We don't lose to Dortmund. We beat Man United tomorrow for me 2 or 3 now because I don't rate them. And we're probably higher up in the league, but it is what it is. But the problem is, Callum Wilson's, your Joe Lintons, Shaws, they've all had injuries in the past and they're all at risk. Now, obviously, I'm going to put my lineup on later on, but it could be massively different. Look, pop in the comments. I got asked a question today, right? Would you prefer to beat Dortmund or be Manchester United? That's what I got asked today. Now, I've got my opinion on it. And I think the injuries we've got at the minute, we can't fight on all fronts with these injuries. It's this is what Man City said a couple of weeks ago. We haven't got the squad to do this. Eddie Howe come out and says, I love fighting on all fronts. That's great. But we haven't got the squad. We've got too many players who pick injuries up. Obviously, there it is. Eddie Howe reveals Sven Botman has had a setback in his recovery from a knee injury. There's an issue there. We are working through various options to try and diagnose the injury properly. Does he fall into the long-term category? Yeah, perhaps, but we're waiting for clarity. And then it was confirmed. Sven Botman has continuing issue with his knee and there's no return date. Nufc went through options to diagnose the problem, but Eddie Howe says he could perhaps fall in. And that's what everybody said. And I just, honestly, when I saw that, I thought, do you know, surely this could have been resolved a couple of weeks ago. I mean, how have like a football club not picked up a little muscle problem or something that needs an operation? And I just find it bizarre how they haven't picked that up. And yeah, players have setbacks. And it's, look, it is what it is, but it's so flaming frustrating because I know how good we can be. And we just haven't, the injuries are just absolutely kicking my arse at the minute. Right, people are going on about Radcliffe. Does still own Leon? He does own somebody in France. If it's Leon, I don't know. It probably is, but he does own somebody. But I think he's only going to own 25% of that. So the Glazers want to stay in. But I heard a year and a half ago that the Sheikh Jassim rumour was a smokescreen. It was put up to get Radcliffe to increase his bid. I've heard it time and time again. I've heard it off very, very reliable people that it was never going to happen in a million years. So there we go. It's not happening. Yes, Owen's niece and they can't stand him. Yeah, I knew it was somebody. Yeah, fans hate him. Anderson is stretched on his back, woke up with it. He woke up with it. Freaking hell, he must have had a terrible nightmare. He woke up with it. Bloody hell, Spence. I tell you what, do you know what it is? This, we could write a book later on, like this season, about the amount of injuries we've had, freak injuries, and who's had the stupidest one. Yep, he's gone to Manure. If we turn them over, I think Poch is overrated at Chelsea. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. He had a good stint at Tottenham. It took him a while to win the league with PSG. God, I could win the league with PSG. So, yeah, I think the problem is the media build managers up, and they're not as good as people think though. And they get found out, and that's just the way it is. I do think Poch is better than Ten Hag though. I would take Poch over Ten Hag any day. 8 weeks out, yep, it is. It's 8 weeks. I mean, I saw Bonds would be December mid too. Yep, I only got told that the other day, which is a bonus because it's a month early and we need him. Right, I think he's at risk age. I'm not sure he'll be gone tomorrow, but nothing surprises me with Man U. I just found that whole not going for a press conference thing weird. And like that tells me there's something not going well at Man United. Look, Radcliffe could come in and just go, look, I don't want you. I mean, I'm trying to think who would fit the Man United mould right now and who they need. I think they need, they've tried the big name abroad and it's not working. Maybe they just need to go back to basics and try something simple. But I mean, that's the way Barcelona and Real Madrid work sometimes. They just keep it simple. Can we get meant about in January? Seeing lots of different sources, seeing some yes, some saying no. I'm trying to find out on that one. I did mention it on the show the other day that I didn't want Manure to come back from Feyenoord because he's doing well. But we've got horrendous injuries, so maybe we need to look into it. As for that, I don't know about bringing him back up. Tough one, but I'd like to be at United more. Fair dues. We've got more chance of winning the Carabao Cup than the Champions League. Late the show, but evening all. Cheers for the show, guys. Thank you very much. Obviously, I thought I had a Man United fan, but he couldn't make it, so is what it is. I'll just ramble on for half an hour. He's out for 2 months to wage. I'm sure it was 12-month deal, but could perhaps pay compensation. Possibly, and there'll be something. There'll be something in the loan that states that he can come back. But guess what? I think he's injured. So is Jamie Miley. He's picked up an injury now. Alex Murphy's injured now. Honestly, something in the water. I can't pick because I want to win both. Yeah, well, you know, look, mate, if we had a full team, I'd say just go for it, both of them. But I think we need to pick one because the injuries are horrendous. I'm with Gary V. Right. Who's this? It's a muscle injury, I'm guessing hamstring. Who's the hamstring for? Sorry, I'm trying to think. I've seen a vid from Craig Hope saying did we buy for future rather than now was available. Yeah, I've seen it, and even Luke's jumped on the bandwagon now. Look, I've said this numerous times that I like Livermore and I like Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall could, from what I've heard, be as good as Gareth. Well, not as good, but he's similar to Gareth Bale, and I got that from Chelsea fans, right? Now, I think the problem we've got, I love buying for the future, right? I do. I think it's great, but we haven't got the luxury of doing that yet. We're still 2 years away from it. And we need to buy first team. That's what Villa do. Villa buy first team. They're getting themselves into a place where then they can go on and buy youngsters. And there's some names that we missed out on for whatever reason. Maddison, Diaby, you name it. We've been linked time and time again. I heard, Blade heard. Pete Graves heard, Bart heard that these were 2 players or 3 players, whoever it was, that we were interested in, but we pulled the plug. I heard Maddison was done. I heard it time and time and time again. Maddison was done. Newcastle pulled out the last one. Now, Maddison thought he was coming. He was looking for a house in Darasol. I mean, but look, that's in the past. But I'll still to this day don't understand why we didn't buy James Maddison. I'll never understand that. But I'm not Eddie Howe and I trust Eddie, so I'm sure he had his reason. Walk back him didn't go away. Oh, do you know what that sounds to me like? That he couldn't have done that in bed. That must have been something that he's had, and obviously sleep spotted on. Honestly, I know that was the plan, is to build young. Yeah, for Gary, thank you. Get back this company that's a loan managers around it. He has experience of limitations, scope, whether financial or otherwise. Yeah, well, that's it. Eddie does. He hasn't been at clubs apart from us where he's been loaded with money. So if anybody would know it, Eddie. But I still think we're short, especially going into Champions. I thought we're short last season, and I mean, truth be told, it's because of injuries and players not being ready or whatever. It's the same team as last season, and yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Muscle hamstring meant that. Yeah. Tell you what, honestly, I'm sick to death of that. Do you know who will be the next one? That's why he's such a good coach. Les never had money. He has to improve the players he's had. Eddie's a genius in improving players he's had. But I tell you what, he's going to have to do it even more in the next few weeks, because when this team kind of play, I mean, you've got Dortmund coming up, Man United also. We've got Tottenham coming up. I mean, at some point, it's going to. I mean, some point Wilson or, I mean, Gordon, Touchwood. We kind of lose Gordon in a minute. But, I mean, we'll see what Eddie plays tomorrow, because I think everybody could put their lineups out and just not be sure. Meanwhile, Peterborough trying out tomorrow, support and Casapola to we Benjamin, bring Dubravka in. I would personally bring Dubravka in, but I think he's going to start both, because I don't think he trusts the other goalkeepers. Right, when I mentioned this lad, yeah, we'll go. This tells me he might be playing. He's a talented player. He can play various positions for us, which in our current position where you're going to need for such a young player to move from London and settle in here. I think he's done it well. The best of him is yet to come, no doubt. Lewis Hall is a fantastic prospect. Look, fantastic. And he needs to come in, have a bit of a run, and I'm telling you now, it'll be difficult to get that kid out of the side. I think in the future, problem is Gordon's there. Don't be surprised if he's left wing in the future, because he's got, like I said, that Bale type about him. But obviously, he's needed a bit of time, which is fair enough. He's a young lad. I'm sure his family's here for him. But maybe he's ready. Maybe he's ready. And I personally think Lewis Hall will start tomorrow. And hopefully he has a good game. Right. I'd love to say Callum Wilson find that tomorrow. United so fragile we won't need much. Well, put it this way. This is like being run by Ashley. If somebody had told you 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, that Manchester United's 2 centre-back pairings would be 2 guys who used to play for Leicester 3 or 4 years ago, would you believe them? No. Johnny Evans played under Alex Ferguson, and he's playing for them at the back. It's a shame Isak's not fit, because Isak would have a flaming field day against them too. Obviously, when I'm on by myself, I just talk and ramble a bit on. So I'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then we will go off. So pop in the comments what you think the score will be, score as you name it. Obviously, it goes straight to penalties, I think. So that is a bonus, right? Got a little bit of transfer news at the end as well. But here is my team. Just making sure. Look, it's not the team I want to play, because I think we need to rest some players, because obviously we've got a big game against Arsenal at the weekend. But I think he's going to pull Shaw out purely based on the fact that Shaw, we can't lose Fabian Shaw right now. If Botman is injured for a while, Fabian Shaw, we need to be careful with him, because that means them two are going to start against Arsenal at the weekend. So Shaw has to come out for me, no doubt. Dominic Lascelles done well against Manchester City. I think Man United are going to make changes, so that's what I think. I think Joe Willock will come in, and I think he'll play in the middle with Longstaff and Bruno. Joe Linton will go out left with Wilson and Miggy. I think Gordon will get a bit of a break, but he will be on the bench, because Gordon, to me, looked shattered at the weekend. And I would pull him out. I would pull Gordon out and bring him on. I think he needs a break. Wilson, I wouldn't want. I didn't want to start Wilson. I would play him against Arsenal, but who else we're going to put there? You know what it is? Gordon could play there instead of Wilson. Could possibly happen. Miggy picks himself because there's nobody else to put there, because Murphy's injured. Bruno is 1 booking away from a suspension. Does this count in the Carabao Cup? I'm not sure. Liveramento will come in for Trips. Trips needs a break for me. Absolutely 100%. And Nick Pope, I think, will continue and go. Right. Obviously, just get to the comments. Here we go. Do you think there's a chance Wilson will be on the bench tomorrow after listening to the press conference? Possibly. I don't know what Eddie's going to do. If Wilson's on the bench, Gordon's starting. Plain and simple. If what he could do is Wilson might play about 50 odd minutes and he might bring Gordon on. That's a possibility. Let's have a look at that. 2-1 to us. I hope so. No pens. Oh God, I'm going to give my prediction in a minute. People going for comfortable, like confident wins. 3-1, 2-0. You know what it is? That is exactly the result I've went 1-1 and we beat them on pens. That's exactly what I've gone for. I would rather play Miggy up top than Gordon. Has finished as Miles ever. Gordon is a Pierce winger to beat players down the wing. To be honest, pal, I think we need to look at every possibility at the minute, because obviously Gordon played there for the England under-21s in the tournament, got player of the tournament, but we need to look at everything at the minute and what we do, because like I said, we've got loads of injuries, and Miggy's an option. Joe Linton's an option, but I didn't want to see it. But he's played there before, but I don't want to see it. But it could happen. I just can't see us win tomorrow. Squad is 200 and stretch. The likes of Wilson and Bruno surely rest for some. See, like this game is now unfortunately inconvenience. You could be right, man. Honestly, you could, but I don't think. You know what it is? I don't think this year's our year for the Carabao Cup. I honestly don't. I think we'll win, but I think it'll. I think we'll probably draw Liverpool away, Arsenal away next round, and you know what it looks like. And I just think injuries are just kicking me in the teeth at the minute, and I think you're right. Different possibility, I think we might see Howe in the middle tomorrow, maybe target a left back, Wilson on the bench, J7 up front, and that's not me. To be honest, that's a good shout because I forgot all about Matt Target. Yeah, that could happen. All good play in the middle. You know what it is? I think Willock's going to start, but I didn't want Willock back this quick because his injury was horrendous. I don't think Eddie Howe would want to play Willock as much as he's playing. Strong possibility. Right, let's have a look. Didn't Eddie say Willock wasn't ready by 90 minutes? But yeah, start him. Yeah, he probably isn't, but you can start him. Give him 50 odd minutes. But look, Willock doesn't start if Tonali's not banned and Barnes is fit and everything like that. He doesn't start him. Les could play for 50 maybe. Yep. Agree. Gary, great minds think alike. Agree. I went 1-1 penalties. And Nick, that's one thing Nick Pope is good at, is obviously he doesn't have to jump up and catch the ball or run out his goal and kick it. One thing he's good at is saving. Now, obviously, Anon's a decent goalkeeper at saving as well, but I don't know. We've got players who can take penalties. So that's what I think will happen. Right. A little bit of transfer news before I go. Newcastle United are believed to be in talking with Santos regarding 20-year-old Brazilian Marcus Leonardo. Fee up to 25 million has been suggested. We're certainly desperate for another striker, and his record of 54 goals, 11 assists, and 161 games is certainly an impressive, very good transfer if we pull this deal off. Know nothing about it. Don't know much about the kid. One thing I will say is take with a pinch of salt, because the amount of Brazilian players we've been linked with in the last 2 years, and none of them have come to fruition. Matthias Franca is one of them. Would I be surprised if we're looking over there in Brazil? Nah, not one bit. Do I think we're going to spend 20 odd million on a young lad to bring in January? Possibly, I do, because he does like Isak Wilson. We do, but we need something else. And obviously, you're not going to go out and buy. Who can I use as an example? You're not going to go out and buy a Jota, for example, right? Who's just going to come in and go, I want to be in the first team. So I would take it with a pinch of salt, but it could be true. That's all I'll say on it. I've never heard anything, not one bit. But I know it is what it is. Right. Finally, in the comments, 3-1. A lot of people confident, mate. A lot of people more confident than I am. We missed the lad that went to Palace, didn't we? I've had a brain freeze. We missed the lad that went to Palace, didn't we? Which lad is that? I'm trying. Oh, Franca. Yeah, Matthias Franca. Yeah, we did. To be honest, he came on at the weekend against us and he tried, but he was what was his first time he came on? But yeah, he went to Palace, yeah. Right. Well, obviously would have went on longer if there'd been somebody else, but it is what it is. The watch along will be on tomorrow. Obviously it's a cup game, so I'm normally a bit not as animated on cup games, but you never know, it's Man United and we can't bloody stand them. But it is what it is. Obviously, don't forget to give Dire Crow Shop a look, because they are our sponsors. Quality merchandise, they do. Great company. And give them a bell and have a good look. And thanks to everybody coming in the comments, because obviously when you're talking by yourself, it's not easy. but the comments help massively. You getting your opinions in and everything like that. Otherwise, it would just be me sitting here with the clown in the background. You know, I feel like Moral, sitting with the clown in the back. Matthias, is he on loan? Is he on loan from Chelsea? No, he came from a thingy team. Right, I think Brazilian team. I don't think it's Chelsea. I could be wrong. But thanks for joining us, and I will see you tomorrow at some point. But thank you, and see you soon.